afternoon, good evening, everyone. And in this time instance, I'm going to try to answer one of those requests to show how one can check for an English requirement uh, for your country at a specific university website. Please make use of the list of the universities that I've listed previously in the group. There are quite plenty. So for those who are looking for specific programs, please just use that list as a starting point. The fact that the universities are listed with a specific program, that does not mean that your program is not there at that particular university. So please be open to do your background research for each and every university that you have, and to check if your program is there, and to look up at the requirements, and finally please apply. So at this juncture, I am going to try to show you how you can get started with the idea of checking if your school has already waivers for Zimbabwe under English as an English speaking country. So I'm just gonna choose any random university. So in this case, I will choose as a starting point Wayne University. Wayne University graduate programs. So you for you to check the requirements for each program, it's good to go straight to the program. And the best way to do that is to first make the university list a list of programs that are available at their university. So I can just check here. Let's see what they have here. Okay. Here they don't have anything. Okay, let me just go to admissions. And if I go to admissions, they show me this, they show me that, they show me that, they show me that, they show me that. Um, Graduate school funding. Okay, let me just go back. Let me just go back. Explore program. That's all supposed to come here. Okay, so I can just check any masters, any PhD. Say one is interested in masters in anthropology. Let me go straight for PhD because I love PhD. PhD anthropology. You check here what is given under anthropology, but of course they do give you the specifics here. Let's say I have a PhD in social work. I come here, admissions. Then I look at the requirements. So you can see you have the deadlines, you have you have all that, and then you have all that, the PhD, you have all that, you have all that, you have all that. So international applicants should consult international applicants' admission requirements. So if a program requires mostly English, it's good to just check um the the international office, or even if you check here PhD in social work anthropology, it's written here on this line that English proficiency, students whose native language is not English are expected to complete 12 examination, expected of 80 and above. So the question is your country a native uh, language English? That is the question. So the question is, how do I check if my country is classified as a native English speaking country? So this is what we are going to do. We can try to visit the International Students Office. Let's see if that will give us something. Um, this is the international admissions, international processes. Let me check something here. Domestic international applicants. Let's see. Demonstrate that. Okay, so since I'm failing to find a specific link that links to that website, I'm just gonna do some gymnastics in searching. So what I'm going to do is I am going to search for a specific country here that is usually listed as an English speaking country. So I will just type Britain English, something like that, and then I'll check. So if I look at here, there is that link that I'm looking for. Let's look at here. So you see, this is under admissions aid, and then they tell you about the English requirements in general. This is a generalized website. And now they say if your native language is not English, but you have been instructed in English, you are not necessarily exempted from English test or foreign language test or oral interview requirements, right? If you meet at least one of the following requirements, you are exempted from this. One, your native language is English and you have completed all secondary and post-secondary education in the United States, Canada, or any other English-speaking country. The following countries are exempted to taking TOEFL in English speaking. So you look at this list, you can see you have Ghana, you have Nigeria, you have South Africa. You are an international student whose education was completed outside the USA is in a non-English speaking, regardless of your visa status, who has degree or parallel institution, if you have completed acceptable transfer, whatever. So you have all that, right? Um, what other thing that you can do is the other thing that you can just do now, in such a case, Zimbabwe is not there. You can write to them. You can write to them. I'll show you how you can write to them, but I'll also just look at another university. So I'm just going to go for another university as well, and I will show you something. So this time I will choose St. Louis. St. Louis University, so St. Louis University. Okay, ladies. Okay, there we go. So St. Louis University, and I'll go to graduate program admissions, and I'm interested in English. English proficiency, English requirements. There you go. Hence, so you have that. I don't want that. Okay, English requirements, country of citizenship. Let's see. Applicants who are English speaking countries listed below are not required to submit uh, proof of English language proficiency to complete their admissions. So there's the list. There's the list. Kenya, Malawi, Namibia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Zimbabwe. Look at this. St. Louis University has listed Zimbabwe as an English speaking country, right? An English speaking country. So which means that if you're applying at this university, you have no need to provide any proof of English speaking proficiency. So this is one of the universities that you look. So please remember, you look at English proficiency requirement, countries. So each university has its own type of way, in its own way in which it lists uh, uh, um, uh, like a list of countries which are required or not required to write an English proficiency or something like that. And then finally, I will also look at which other university should I look at? Okay, let me look at this one, which I was looking at. I will look at this university, University of Wickleston Manson. I want to see the list that is there. So remember, it's also a specific program, but in general, there is that list that I'm showing you. So let's look at this, and I can just go straight to say grad school, and I write English prof. Let's check English proficiency. English proficiency. Let me just check. Disco processing. Select result space. Let me go for this one. Mm, they usually have the school somewhere listed. So you have to look, scroll down and check where the checklist for new cards applicants review. Let's look at this. Um, Okay, let me try the bridge thing. So I'll just go here, and I'll search here, write English, and then I'll type Britain. Let's see. Um, I can't see the list, so it's unfortunate that for this one it's not as straightforward as I thought to be. But let me just go. Let me try this as well. Let me try this. Check each department. So it's more of an iterative process, and you should always bear in mind it's not just as straightforward like figuring out which department offers English as a second language. Listen, um, it's not as easy as figuring out okay, any whatever admitted take whatever courses, 12 English speaking country certificate. Oh, let's see. Okay, just one more thing. Let me see. Um, let me just visit a popular department which I know, and let's see what it will give me. Uh-huh. So I am interested in the graduate degree program, and I want to check the requirements. Uh, Prospective PhD students. See. How to apply. Mm, Graduate admissions. There you go. Yeah, admissions information for international students. How many international department does what are the language requirements for the students? A test of foreign blah 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 equivalent uh for a undergrad, exclusively detailed information, and then you have all that. So you can see that then they give you a link to say detailed information is there on the grad school website. So maybe one for have to have specific information about this, one is to go straight to the grad school website. I'll try that, but then if it fails, then you have to figure it out somehow on your own time. So here, you see here, they said in requirements for admission, graduate school sets minimum requirements and are often rigorous, those set by the grad school. Please check your program website for more details. And a bachelor's degree in U.S. institution, comparable degree from international institution is required. For specific information for comparable degree in your institution country, you're required to check the list. So which means I have to check my country here. If I say Zimbabwe here, what comes out? So you see here, Zimbabwe is not required for an English waiver. Look at this, right? Specific requirements for English. You can see that. So this is good news for most of the investors that you should apply for. It's good to just check this all the time. Check that. Because the fact that it's written that for all international students require English tests, it doesn't necessarily mean that Zimbabwe is part of that list. So you have to confirm that every time before you actually apply. So thank you for that. And then in the next 1 minute, I'm just going to show you a sample of an English proficiency requirement letter. This is an English proficiency requirement letter that I read or email at St. Louis. I didn't know that St. Louis does give waivers for Zimbabwe. And this is the email that I wrote, right? If you can look at it in just a few seconds, and this is what I wrote. So this was the email, and this was the feedback. This was the feedback. So if you're not sure about the exact requirements, you can also email the grad school itself and they can tell you what you're supposed to do. It's always good to communicate. It's always good to check. If you have any struggles, please, you are free to write in the group. If you have any struggles sometimes, which are critical, especially stepwise challenges, you may also come to my inbox. So thank you very much for this time, and I wish you all the best with your applications. Signing out, Jonathan T. Vunzo Abaya.